that button. Hooray! It's me. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Hello, hello, hello. How are we all? I am discombobulated and all over the place. Just to, have a break from the norm. Now, how bad does that sound tonight? Am I incredibly quiet? Right, hang on. Let's have a look at Let's open my settings. Make sure that my microphone is turned up to ungodly, which is what you guys seem to like. I don't know. You seem happy with it, so that's the important thing, Yep, it's turned up to ungodly, so hopefully you're happy. There'll be minimal complaints. So who have we got? Oh, for God's sake, wrong button. Right, who have we got? Oh, good evening. Access, Mike, the man, the legend, Blissful Badger. Hello, hello. How are we all? What's new? What's going on? Oh, my goodness. Right, I'm here. Sounds decent. Okay, as good as it ever does. I am plagued. I am diseased. So I'm a little bit tonight. So if I sound a little bit rough, I'm going to blame it on the disease. That's what we're going to hold it. That's what we're going to hold accountable this evening, as that's clearly what's going on. Oh dear. How's everybody's week going? Mike's happy. Mike's happy. This is what we like to hear. Oh dear. How is everybody's week going? What's the latest with you wonderfully glorious people? How are you all? Let's go on. Push that button there. There we go. How about button over here? I think that's all I'm going to do tonight. I've told everyone I'm going to tell. If they're coming, they're coming. If they're not, you know what? They're going to miss out on all of this. I'm trying to decide on a project for the day. I have too many options and none are ready for desk time. I hate that. I hate that. I've got to try and be a little bit grown up at the moment. I need to stay focused on one thing than the other. So tonight I'm going to be tinkering. Whoop, hello. I'm going to be tinkering with the bulleteer, as I've sort of said, that I was working on the other day. But I've got to get into table 4 for the satellite tournament and a whole load of stuff around that as well. So yeah, I know, I feel you. And there's stuff that I need to do, and there's I need to finish off these guys. I need to finish off some tiny tanks because they're looking decent, but they need they've got a lot of work to be done on them still. So I need to get that done. And we got these built the other day, which are super in love with, and I need to prime them and all the rest of it. I need to airbrush them. I need to get them done because then they're ready. When they're done, they're ready for the thing, which is amazing, and I'm looking forward to that. So I want to do that, and I want to paint this guy because I think he's awesome and gorgeous. I have no idea how I'm going to paint him. I think it's going to be really warm, like reds and oranges and golds and kind of, because the original is silver metallic metal, and I think I'm going to go for gold or bronze. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Gorgeous miniature though. So I want to do that. I kind of want to paint this one as well because she's so pretty too. But for the time being, we are going to finish off, or we're going to work on. I'm not going to finish off. It's naive to think I'm going to finish off. I'm going to finish off the bulleteer. Keep chugging away on that one because it needs to be chugged away on. It needs to be done. I've got so much to do there. Has to be said. Evening, Mike. Welcome back. Good to have you, buddy. How have you been? How's life? Oh, you do paint streams. I do. On for effect, got the essentials box and getting them painted for the first time. Ah, bravo. Nicely done. Well, welcome. Hello, hello. I haven't really, historically, I'm not a painter. I'm not. I've been painting a long time, so I do okay. I don't think that I've sold some commission work. I have sold some commission work, but I lack the patience to do that regularly. It's just not my thing. Chris, I've been on 8 minutes, dude, so you're perfectly fine. It's good to see you, buddy. How are you? Are you well? What's the latest on the thing? No, I need to private message you about that. You can't have that conversation here. Anyway, so no, I've done some commission work, but I am too impatient to paint to a stunning standard for myself. I just get to a point, I'm like, that's done. And I have to try and get as much of the miniature finished before I get to that point. Otherwise, you get like a miniature with one leg, one arm, and half its face done, and I'm like, bored now, do something else. It's a problem, but I've come to accept it in myself. It's kind of how I am. I know the nature of myself. I went through and bought a few Eugene boxes this week. Oh, nice. Do you know what I had turn up this week, Chris? When you run a satellite, so I'm running a satellite tournament, which is, if you don't know, it's like an official event that if you win it, you get invited to the Interplanetario in Spain. It's a big, like, huge event. We've got about 40 players coming for it. I'm hoping to get to 50. I need to push it more and all the rest of it. Anyway, so we've got 40 coming, but Corvus Belli, Makers of Infinity, support it, and they send like a big box of stuff. Oh my God, it was one of those things where like, do I have to give this away? Can this not just be the present from me? I could live with this I'd be fine with that. I've got to be honest, it's fine. Like most of Imperial Service is in there, most of Next Wave is in there, and like, if you can think of something. Socks, okay? There are socks in there. We've got the patches that you'd expect. You've got, paint set, one of the new paint sets, the new paint set for Next Wave with the limited edition miniature in the frickin' box. Everything is in the frickin' box. It's great. I've got to give it all away and it's so disappointing. Anyway, like, it's been great. Finished 2 more Ariadne Troopers, the Scout, and the HMG Vic Kazakh poster. Yes, I saw them. You did really nice work on those, my friend. I was super impressed. I really liked the camo on the cloak of the Scout. That was really peak work. So, happy Monday, Hydra. How can you call yourself not a painter when you have done commission work? That is a Uncle Mike level question, and I'm going to answer that one when I've answered Mike. I don't know who won Adepticon. I didn't find out. I didn't keep track of it. I try not to get too stuck on like the ultra competitive stuff because it doesn't do good for my soul. I get a bit distracted, to be honest with you. I delete it because I want to buy it for mine next month. What do you want to buy, dude? The pack? You get given it. You can't just buy it, dude. You have to like apply for becoming a satellite and then get the status of a satellite and get officially announced. Then they send it to you. It's completely free, which is bonkers. Because I was talking to them, I was like, what does it entail? I haven't actually had one of these boxes before, and they gave me a list, and I was like, Jesus, that's like a collection. Anyway, it's great. I'm very happy with it. Well, thank you. True, this is true. They should be fun and chill and all the rest of it. Absolutely. Hobby hangouts should just be fun, and that's the idea. It's more kind of chatting along and you guys keeping me company and all that sort of jazz. Hang on a second. I need to adjust my attire. So the mic comes off, it goes over here, goes quiet for you guys for a minute. It was like, this is an entirely different type of stream where I lose my clothes on the... Anyway, it's a bit warm in here. Where I'm ill, oops, sorry about that. Where I'm a little bit ill, I'm a bit warm and it's just not nice. I'm just not happy with it. Anywho, you have the stuff. You can only apply once a year. It's towards the end of the year. They put a shout out and then you have to put your case in for having it, basically. So look out for that, dude. But absolutely. And if you need help with the application, let me know. Happy to support you. 2 things. Number 1, so the other week I was painting the bulleteer and I got pretty far with it and I left it on the desk and I came in the morning and I was like, you know what, I'm going to put it up out the way so it doesn't get damaged, because that's just the way stuff goes. So I picked it up and then I threw it across the floor. So I now have 2. And I was like, that's really handy for painting the legs, actually. So I'm just going to keep it in 2 parts for the time being and I'll glue it together again later. Because, like, it's really handy for getting the legs. Anyway, so we have 2 bulleteers now. One's really useful. The other one is, like, shoots. Yeah, anyway. Very disappointing. Since we last spoke on the last chat, the player I had my first demo on is seriously excited about Infinity, so he must have done something right. Bravo! He's now got a friend who wants to join us, so it spreads. I did get my info set up with the Warcore program. Outstanding, Chris. Good job, buddy. Well deserved as well. Your enthusiasm and your energy for the system is just, it's, yeah, just everything that a Warcore should be, so bravo. Whoop, whoop, Mr. Van Diem. Hello, you gorgeous mammal. How are you? So yeah, 2 bulleteers rather than just 1. How convenient. So we're going to work on the legs tonight because I hate those the most. So I'm just going to get those done, and just get these top bits done. And if I can get this sort of section down here done and onto the ground, then I can put on its base. And I find when the miniatures are on their base, they're a lot more, I'm a lot more inspired to finish them. You know what I mean? It's like I can see how it's going to be pretty. So for those of you who haven't seen before, the base is all the way, why is it all the way over there? Oh my good God. So I think the base this one's going on is this guy. And when it's on there, then it's going to get some more grass tufts and stuff. So Buff will be on top of there. And we're going to have some more grass tufts and some like, just to finish this off, basically. So anyway, so when it's on there, it's going to be more like, ooh, get it done. But Multiverse, how can you call yourself not a painter when you have done commission work? Because I class a painter, like a painter, not just like somebody who paints. There's a difference. As somebody who enjoys it, who gets genuine pleasure from it. Now, I do intermittently. Like, there are points when it works and it's flowing nicely, and I'm like, this is good. I like this. This is fun. But sometimes it's just a freaking slog, and I'm not having fun with it. I'm not enjoying it, and I'm doing it to get it done. My sole objective, the only reason I'm doing it, is to have finished it. And I know people, Mean Green Minis, if you have the opportunity, check out his work on Instagram. The Unknown Painter, a good friend of mine as well. He is on TikTok and on Instagram as well. They paint every day. They spend... It'd be muted. How is it muted? Hang on, is that better? Am I back in the room? Oh my goodness. I should not be muted now. I'm now worried that I'm muted. No, I'm sure. You can hear me, right? I'm kind of concerned now. All right, problems. Good to see you over in Twitch. It's nice to keep the old place busy. David Robo won the Slayer sword. Jeez. 40k has taken over the new gaming cafe. I have been trying to demo Infinity for a long time, but I'm now working on my Palantir site. Shadowcat, that's rough. That is rough. That stuff infects, it gets everywhere. Just gets it, all the little nooks and crannies. Sundays 5x5. Bravo, thank you very much. I love sea paint, as your painting style is completely different from mine. It's always fun to see different styles. Thank you very much. I'm pleased to hear that. On the recent Discord announcements and the return of the Caledonian Sectorial, they said limited edition, but is that just this batch and the action packs will be released later? Nope. No, Mike, it is a fairly safe bet that this is the last time that we'll see them. Talana, good evening, hello. What are we up to? We're painting one half of my bulleteer because the other half broke off when I dropped it on the floor. Had to be there, definitely good move. Good. In gear. Hello, you gorgeous mammal. Scratch my last, phone hooked up. Dude, I had a medium-sized heart attack. I was in the middle of like this epic speech. It was like kind of Braveheart levels of epicness. I was ready to like smear blue paint down half my face. And you're like, you're muted. I'm like, damn it, that was really good stuff. What I was saying, that I think in order to be a painter, like a proper painter, I would class myself as one. If I took pleasure in the act of doing painting consistently, and I don't. There are whole times when I'm just like, oh God, do I have to? I don't want to. And it doesn't even matter on workload. It's like if I focus down on one miniature, I will hit a point where I'm done. I'm just done with it. That's, you know, I'm kind of, yep, good, bravo, I don't want to do this anymore. I'll do something else. And I have to take a break. And I know people that consistently paint every single day. It's a habit. It is literally the thing that they do. It's their whole shtick. And I have great respect for that, but that's not me. So I know that if I put the time and the energy and the focus in, I can paint really nicely. I can like do really smooth blends, and I can do all kinds of pretty stuff. I just don't want to. And that is, for me, what stops me being what I would class as a painter. That's kind of what keeps me as a hobbyist rather than a painter. But run your own race. If you feel the same way and you see yourself as a painter, that's cool. I don't know. I think I know a lot of really exceptionally good painters, some of whom are in this room. They're going to remain nameless because I don't need that ego. But I look at their work and I think, yeah, that's amazing. That's so good. And the consistency with which they work and the quality with which they produce, so just such a good standard so frequently. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing it. It's just not me. And those are the guys that I see as painters, which is not me. So that's the difference. Oh, well, we'll just have to wait for the new US Airborne. Ura, indeed, Mike. I have thoughts on that one. I have thought, but I've done that. Those bots, yeah, Delanair, these guys. I mean, it's a Seocast bot, so I was kind of just glad it didn't explode. To be honest with you, I've had Seocast ones that shattered, and you ended up with more bits than you started with, and it's just like, oh, for God's sake. But these did good. He snapped off here, and I think a bit of the gun came off, but it broke clean, so it was easily fixed, kind of thing. So, yeah. It was not awful. It was not as bad as I was when it fell from my hand in slow motion. It was like moments. I was like, well, there we go. We're going to be pick up 75 bits, and I'm never going to find at least 74 of them again. But I did, and so I was happy about that because I was happy with how this miniature's coming together. It's looking all right. It's looking good. We're kind of happy with it. So yeah. There's that to be said. I've enjoyed every single Eldfall model I've painted. Never had that with any Warhammer stuff I've ever done. That was always, I just need to finish this event. Don't. Down there. I hear ya. I painted the, what did I paint? The gargoyles for Eldfall. And I need them to be a sort of a reasonable tabletop standard. I was going to say display standard. I don't need them display standard. I need them at sort of a tabletop standard. So I can use them in a video. I loved painting them. They went together really quickly. Like the scheme went together really quickly. They went together really nicely. I was really happy with how it finished. And I was just one of those things where you're like, oh, it was so much fun. Then I'm a painter. But yeah, that's my view. But I'm glad you're having fun with them, dude. Eldfall miniatures are stunning. We've got kind of on Discord, where a lot of people are getting into Eldfall at the moment. There seems to be a running thing of, how quickly did you assemble all of your miniatures? It's like an hour and 20 minutes for 15. That long? But love it. Hey Mel, good to see you, buddy. How are you? Are you well? I built the Gogs today. They are nice models. Did you do them in the sandstone style? I did indeed. To be fair, after losing my interest in painting Warhammer, I found it again when I started the Orc Troop from the Essentials box. Infinity miniatures are such a joy. They really are, dude. They really are. They're beautiful miniatures. Do not... there's certain ones that I've picked up that I've just been with Infinity that I've just been like, oh yeah, no, this makes me happy. I think with my boy Shock Army, because this is so many times I've painted this army. Although this is a different scheme. This is a slightly different scheme. I don't think that helps because I've done these so many times. But I love the army, so it's, yeah. I'm probably happiest painting these. I have a ridiculous volume of miniatures thanks to people like XS who help me out. So I have a lot to get done. But there's a joy, there's a sort of, what's the word? I'm feeling pretty, oh, I've lost the word, because where I'm sick, what is mostly affecting is my brain. So I can't think as clearly as usual. I'm basically getting old, is what's happened. In the last week, I've got old. So this makes me, I'm sort of reminiscing with these. It's taking me back. Nostalgia, that's a frickin' word. They make me nostalgic, these guys do. And I paint some of the miniatures, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember the battles I won with you. I remember fun we had at the expense of other people. So, it's good. I build the Gargs, yeah. I did the elemental sets in about 20 minutes. They go together very easy. They really do. The elemental sets are nuts. Doing pretty well, just waiting for the work day to end. Got a War Machine match this evening. Nice. Which faction are you playing tonight, buddy? I have to pack up 200 plus minis to move to the new house. Nice. Moving to a new house is a good reason to pack up 200 miniatures, dude. That is good news. Congratulations on that. It's very exciting. Very excited for you. For you and Mr. Infinity Crack. My mental health ADHD head sometimes not in the game. Last night I was close to doing harm to myself, but I got in touch with a friend who helped me finish off my scarecrow. Good for you, buddy. It is important when you, like, I struggle with my mental health. That's, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. That is, I think, we live in a modern era where, thankfully, we can be honest about it. And we can kind of say, I hope we all can. We can say, you know, I'm struggling, I'm not doing great, I need help. And I try to, and it's important that you do. So bravo you for doing so, buddy. And I'm glad that your friend was there to help you get your head on a little bit straighter and find a way through. People like that are worth their weight in gold, and more so. So, absolutely. I consider myself a painter, but I know I'm slow at it. I have done commissions. Fair play, Multiverse. It's the titles we give ourselves are the ones we give ourselves. It's, you know, how you perceive it and how you see it and all the rest of it. There are quite a few people in my local community who are genuinely intimidated by the thought of playing me. And I'm like, I'm not an uber competitive player. I spend most of my time teaching newbies to throw dice. And, you know, don't put it in your ear. No, don't stick it up your nose. Roll it on the table. No, not on the floor. Don't put it in your pants. You've got to help them with everything. So, like, when you get people that are kind of like, yeah, well, you know, not sure I'm ready to face you. I'm like, really? You've played more competitively more recently than I have. But anyway, sure. So it's how we define ourselves. Hello, Kaz. Yeah, quite an interesting chat we had about materials that CB uses between metal, Seacast and Unicorn in the Discord. Don't get me started, Mike. The sooner that this stuff, the Seacast, disappears, the happier I will be. That's all I will definitely say. What's my top tip for painting sandstone is to start a little bit darker than you think and then end up a little bit lighter than you think. And dry brush. Don't just go nuts with the dry brush. I think my where's my blooming? I've got the paints here somewhere. This is me. I have this nice, wonderful display where I store all of my paints and all that kind of stuff. It's just behind me. It's really, really nice. My wife bought it for me. She did a great thing in getting it for me. And then I have a nasty habit of sticking them in a box because I move around when I'm painting. Yeah. I think mine started off quite a deep, like, sand yellow. I think this is where I started with my sandstone. But then I went all the way up to this kind of really light tan. And then I finished it off even with a lighter, like very tight edge dry brush. It really went quite crazy on that. And this is the first time I've used Warlord paints actually, and I was quite impressed with them. They're quite nice. I don't know who makes them for them, but they did a good job. So there we go. That's what I did. Chimera, nice smell, very fun. Instructions unclear, dice and mouth. You say that. And now in Twitch. Wait, where is everyone? Everyone's everywhere. There's 8 people in Twitch. I don't know what everyone's doing in Twitch. It's great. I love it. The problem is I haven't sat down and organised everything. So 14 people on YouTube and 8 people in Twitch. 22 people. Hello, 22 people. Lovely to see you. Oh, I see, Larkbeard. You've got to keep that watching streak. Yes, you do, Larkbeard. You owe it to yourself. But yeah, it was an interesting chat, Mike, about metal, Seacast and Unicorn. It's Unicorn is great, and this stuff is just the bane of my existence. I don't know if can we show you. So I spent quite a while cleaning this miniature up, and then when I started painting it, come on, focus. Can you see it? There's this little mold line just here. It's not big enough to clean up because you can't really clean that up on this stuff. It's like a cut mould line. I don't know how it's got there, but it stretches all the way across the miniature. And the problem is with this stuff, you can't sand it. You can't use like, because normally I just pick up like a metal nail file almost, and I just file it off. You can't do that because this stuff doesn't file. I can't cut it with a knife because I kind of have to, so I'm going to have to, do I fill it? Well, that doesn't really, with this, it doesn't work too well. I found that sometimes filling this stuff just causes more problems than it solves, because then you have to file it, sort of sand it down again, and it doesn't work too. So he's got a line down his leg. That's just where we are with Seriocast. I'm at a point where I'm like, I don't care anymore. So if I could, I would paint most days, especially when I have motivation, inspiration for work. Good for you, Multiverse. That's the way forward. I'm at that way when I'm writing. Actually, that's what I have it with. When I can sort of focus and sit down and write, then stay the frick out of my way, basically. I think my record is I wrote 120,000 words in a little under 4 weeks at one point. I was just like, right, I know what's happening in this book. Go! So I did. And it came out. It's glorious. It's sat over there and needs editing. But that's a different matter entirely. So, yeah. I know what you mean. When inspo strikes, it is a glorious thing. And if you can do it, make time, dude. Feed your creativity. You owe it to the world. You owe it to yourself. Hello. Eldford did come together super fast, but I found the plastic a bit brittle. I broke one club and one sword, unfortunately. Pinned them back together, but yeah, I miss metal. Really? Damn. What did you do? How did you... Cannot be filed, bureaucracy proof. I'm not even... No, I'm just... No. Not even going to. Did my Warcry demo over the weekend, and it made me buy some more models, but one of the kits now needs to be reported to Corvus for missing heads. Oh, God, don't even. Hello, Shampoo. Don't throw clogs at people. How many mini monsters do you need for Sand Kingdoms in general? I'd say, well, I mean, I personally would just buy the main Earth and Creatures box and be done with it, because then you've got everything. But you can get away with just kind of, I think, the problem is you can get the golems, the gargoyles, and the elementals, but then you're just missing the Colossus. So you just will get the, you know, it's one of those things. Being games, I have a tendency to overanalyze my choices in Infinity and now Warcrow. Any tips on not overthinking on the vast number of choices in these games? It is one of the great challenges of Infinity as a system. It's something that I've talked about a lot. You know, you step up to the table and you say, to a lot of games, you're like, okay, what can I do in the game? Bolt action is my great example. There are 6 options of things you can do in an action activation in bolt action. There are 6 things. That's it. There are not 7, there are 6. Go with me, people who know the system. When you step up to the board with Infinity, you say, what can I do? And it says yes. And that's a real headache. So what do you do about that? Well, the first thing you do is you have a plan. Before you even start writing your list, you have a plan of how you're going to complete the mission. And if you have a plan of how you're going to complete the mission, you know what you need to do each turn. If you know what you need to do each turn, then it's very clear what you need to do with each activation. And I start by saying to people, right, at the end of this turn, what does success look like? What would you have done that will make you go, yeah, this worked, I did the thing. When you know what that success looks like, work backwards to figure out how you get there. And that is the easiest process of getting rid of analysis paralysis. If you find your way halfway through the turn going, oh, well, maybe, okay, no, you had a plan, stick to the frickin' plan, get to the end of the turn and analyse the plan. Because the most important thing to get over analysis paralysis is to remember it's a frickin' game. It doesn't matter. There will be another one later. You will be fine. No one's going to die. It's really important to remember that one. This is supposed to be fun. Yes, you want to win, but you learn more from your mistakes and more from your losses than you ever will from a victory. So, you know, try the stupid thing. Just, if you're not sure, do the thing that seems interesting or fun or crazy or whatever. But you should have a plan, and that's the easiest way around it. I didn't realise how big the Colossus was till I put an extra regular model. It's a beast. I love it. It's just absolutely amazing, to be fair. But yeah, analysis paralysis is a key problem inside of Infinity Multiverse, and the biggest way to get rid of that is to have a plan, stick to the plan, do the plan, learn from the plan. I'm running a D&D intro game on the 4th. Jackie of Many, Mistress of None. That's the way forward. You see me painting Infinity. There is Eldfall here, there is Flames of War there is Bolt Action over here. What else do we have? What else? There must be more around me. It can't just be stuck to that. Flames of War, Bolt Action, Infinity, Eldfall Chronicles. Oh yeah, Northern Wind's over there. That's over that way. Yeah, and Warcrow's over here at the moment. It's over on that shelf because I'm not working on that currently. So I hear you. I hear you entirely, Darina. I didn't have this problem when I played Warhammer. Yeah, but Warhammer again is relatively, you know. Did I publish any books? Not yet. No, because if I publish books, XS, people might read them, which is not the idea. My mum asked me about that. She said, "What's the plan with writing?" I said, "You know, what's your dream with writing?" I said, "The ultimate dream with writing is that lots of people buy my books and no one reads them. That would be brilliant." Because if people like read my books, they might have opinions on them, and then they could be wrong, or I could be wrong, which would be even worse. And yeah, no, we don't want any of that. So it's best if people just buy them and put them on the shelf and then leave them, but they want to read them, which is just not right. So we're just sort of creeping up on the concept of publishing for the time being. Slowly creeping up on that one. I've won some short story prizes over the years. Done quite a few short story bits and pieces here and there, but like, I was talking to the guys, Wingtazar, who publish the Infinity stuff a little while back, because I had an idea. I have several ideas, actually, for stories for Infinity. And they're like, yeah, give us a full treatment, and you know, we'll see whether it fits. And I was like, again, not only would people read them, but people that I know would read them. And then those people would feel the need to tell me that they liked them, which I wouldn't want that, because if they said they liked them, I'd be like, you freaking liar. And if they told me they hated them, that'd be even worse. There's no winning here. So it's better just to write them and put them in a box, and then no one gets to read them and everyone's happy. I'm happy. As far as your mould line on the Seacast goes, have you tried Milliput? It can be sanded after it's hard. Yeah, the Milliput can be sanded, but the Seacast still is an absolute muppet to be sanded. And because it's so thin, I've got Milliput over there, but because it's so thin, I'm going to catch the edges of it all the way around. It's one of those things where I'm like, do you know what? I'm just not going to look at it. I'm just going to stick, just in this particular bit of the base, just here, there's going to be a big frickin' plant with long leaves that is just going to come up and be like, nope, there's nothing there for you to see. Carry on, carry on. I think that's best. That works for me. Kind of happy with that. So you can throw them. Don't throw clogs at all, lovingly or otherwise. I published twice for Mongoose when they had the Babylon 5 IP. Oh. Darina. B5. Single best sci-fi out there. I'll die on that freaking hill. It's just, JMS is a legend. That entire, yeah. That was all coming out, and we had Deep Space Nine. It was DS9, wasn't it? DS9 was going on at the same time. People were like, oh, DS9's amazing. I'm like, have you even Babylon 5'd? And then by the time I got people to agree to it, we were part way through like the second series, at which point it was a bit late to jump in, because, you know, a lot's happened, and you kind of need to get caught up on that, but you can't get caught up on that because it's just, oh. But bravo you, thank you for writing stuff for B5, because the world needs more B5. I'll heartily approve of that. You're a legend. This is the way we throw. Don't. You will not die from not winning. Sit down. Behave yourself. Scary, that part about people seeing your work. It really is. It really is. It's like when every time I've submitted to a competition for short stories, even though it's not with, so the stuff that I've submitted for has been for very specific, so that sounds dodgy, but for very specific sectors. Specifically, there's a couple of organisations that work in the US, and what they do is they do training for organisations in the emergency sector. So what they needed was kind of narrative things to wrap scenarios around, or scenarios with narrative, to create games around to help train people to respond to specific disaster scenarios. And even though this was going to the US, where at that point I didn't actively know anyone, and there was no chance that anyone that was going to look at it was going to know me, you know, they could walk past me in the street, wouldn't recognise me at all, and this was all good. It literally, to the last 15 minutes of the application time, I was just like, nope, fine, sent, fine. Well, that's it. Everyone's going to be laughing at me by Monday morning. That's it. We know it's true. It's just, yeah. I'm sat here slapping paint on a miniature, but when it comes to my writing, I'm a tortured artist. Really am. It's definitely a thing. Thanks, Dorina. You're very kind. I appreciate that. It's very generous. Thank you for following on Twitch. That is. Hang on. Is that my? Am I on the wrong? Yeah, I'm on the wrong thing. I was like, Twitch didn't tell me. I'm looking at the wrong fracking window with Twitch. That's why. There we go. Yay! What? Ooh. Thank you. I see now that you followed. 63 followers on Twitch. Amazing. Love it. I'd buy your book to not read it. Thank you so much, Multiverse. That genuinely inspires me to write more. That genuinely inspires me to write more. But what I wanted to, so because I know I'm not going to do it now. There's a whole load of reasons why, but I know I'm not going to do it now. But one of the series that I wanted to write, because it needs space to be a series, because this one needs space to grow, is I wanted to write a kind of a series with an almost Cold War-esque feel, like a spy drama around a speculo infiltrating the human sphere. This is obviously before the aliens joined the Concilium, and the idea was that there would be this infiltrating speculo, and you'd kind of see it periodically from her view as she went deeper and deeper into humanity and got promoted as a newscaster, and as a member of, I think, Bureau Aegis was the plan, was going to be hunting her and not believed by his bosses as he tried to. That was Day of the Jackal-esque. I was like, you know what, that's that kind of thing, that interests me. The concept of that infiltrating alien getting deeper and deeper into the heart of humanity, and its experience of seeing the human sphere from the inside up close and personal, the way that it perceives it, the way that it feels about its mission, the way that it, you know, sees what humanity is like up close, and how it feels about that, while you have this agent trying to slowly track it down before it completes its thing. So yeah, you know, that was one of the ways. Thanks, love, appreciate it. So yeah, that was one of the books that I wanted to write, because I thought that would be interesting. I kind of wanted to do something that was, because a lot of the books at the moment are very kind of, they're very action orientated, which is brilliant. Which I think is what the IP needs right now, is that kind of, I'm going to say like a Boyzone type feel, like zap, pow, boom type, you know, big explosions and excitement and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to write something that was a little bit more of a slow burn, a kind of a, as we progress deeper and deeper and deeper, how will this work out? And using that to show how life is within the human sphere and stuff like that. So that's what I wanted to do. It was one of the things I wanted to do. And I thought that would be kind of funky. But core theme of the game, exactly Larkbeard, that's it. Espionage and all this kind of stuff. And while we do see, you know, we see those kind of covert operations and stuff, we play those out in the game. I thought that kind of cat and mouse intensity was, yeah, fun. I wanted to see what we could learn from that and what we could inspire from people. So that was one of the ones I wanted to write. And that was going to be a series starting sort of outside, far outside of the Concilium and slowly working her way in, nearly being discovered, completing certain acts of sabotage and all this kind of thing. Reporting the news whilst also making the news, That seemed really interesting to me. So, I don't know. And then I wanted to do a series of short stories talking about key moments that we've kind of had flashes of inside of the lore. So when Kodali stopped being a tiger soldier and started being a traitorous scumbag for the Combined Army, how did that all come about? What did that look like? What was the sort of story behind that drama? I wanted to cover that. The death of Tony Macchiara, expand that out to a short story of a few thousand words. I think there's a lot more to be covered there than the ITS 8 gave us. So I wanted to cover those points as well, because I think that they're also interesting for people who are new to the game. When you see Kodali, she is this winged monstrosity in Combined Army, but she is human. How did that happen? What's the story behind that? There is a story behind that. That's something that transpired in-game, in-universe. What happened? So I kind of wanted to create that sort of series of short stories, because I think that would be interesting for newer players to come in and be like, okay, this grounds me, this tells me more of the setting, it tells me more of the stuff that's happened and gone before. So I wanted to get your advice. I've been playing KCF and really struggling against nomads, especially with these 3 situations. I've considered doing a Dragonlance type thing after my D&D campaign finishes, transcribing their story and intervention to words. That would be cool. Dragonlance was one of my first love novels. I have a 1986 copy of Autumn Twilight over there, Multiverse, so totally with you. I was going to say, each day she could look at what she's doing and somehow turn on her masters. I thought about that, but I think it's more interesting to drive it towards this sort of, speculators are these animals that are driven towards their ultimate goal, and kind of having her experience humanity as something alien to her. I think that's interesting to take that sort of view of kind of humans as a basal species, a sort of inferior one. I kind of wanted to go that route, So, Moran plus Crazy Koala. My opponent usually drops us right in the centre near the objective, which makes it really hard to ignore. What's the best way to deal with it? Oof. Large hacking networks. I'm having trouble dealing with lists that run multiple hackers, usually 2 to 3. It's hard to move up with my killer hacker since they was covered. How should I approach this? 3 intruder with heavy machine gun, always camouflages in so I can't target him on my active turn, and has him somewhere in the back. Good at covering his angles. Oh, the classics. The classics. All the good stuff. You just have to so love the fast powers. Indeed. Can't discuss in my Metis Discord as my opponent is in it. As if I sort of take it. Right. The problem is you're dealing with the real classic manoeuvres there of A, nomads, and B, specifically Corregidor. It's what corgis do. As a corgi player, I have to say, yes, that's what we do. So, right. If your opponent has any sense, he's running the Moran as a repeater, and he's putting it on the middle line, and he's sticking it on top of a building, taking advantage of the Coke can of power that is the zone of control. What you can do about that is you're looking at super jumpers. You're looking at super jumpers just to frag it off the building wherever it is. With things like the Crazy Ks, you can use cheap stuff to get rid of it. So helper bots are good, just run them through, or stuff that dodges really well, because all you have to do is dodge to stop a Crazy Koala having any fun. So those are ways I deal with Morans. It's just outmaneuver it, or just go around it, just ignore it. Large hacking network, I'm having trouble doing. Yeah, you're going to face hackers when it comes to this stuff. Airborne deployed troopers, camouflage units, stealth units, anything that lets you go through that space without attracting, or either go around that space or just go through that space without attracting any type of ARO is definitely the way forward. If you've got something in camo, don't be baited into making it reveal. Just keep moving. Just keep wondering. Make them wait. Gene Dean, good evening. Hello, you little legend. Good to see you, my friend. Intruder with a heavy machine gun. Actually, airborne deployed troopers are two of the things that will do really well with large hacking network and intruder with HMG. You get an intruder in bad range, it starts having a bad day because they've only got one wound. They don't have a lot of armor. You know, anything with a template is going to really F it up. You know, we love that. And if you take something, because I think, I want to say Fireflies. I want to say Firefly. I want to say Fireflies are your AD option. I'm doing it off the top of my head, and my head's a bit smushed today. Boof. Okay, let me have a look. Come on, do the thing. Oh, yeah. Do you know what? Army is being really slow today. No one needs that. Skills. Come on, jump. There we go. Oh, Banshees, that was the one. Banshees. So yeah, Banshees are medium infantry, so you can spotlight them, but you can't hack them. You've got the hacker and the killer hacker variant, but actually, I would probably take the SMG or the light shotgun. Probably the light shotgun, actually, because that's just fun. So that is just a lot of fun. No, SMG for the output. That's kind of a good way forward. The thing is, if you have a light shotgun, then you can negate the negative modifier of mimetism and just drop that out completely. That's fun. And you've got wild parrots in there as well. Glue them to the damn floor and that ruins their whole freaking day. But then you also have like the pulsar. The pulsar could be good. It could be good against the intruder. A lot of the hackers you're going to face are going to have good BTS though. So you kind of don't want to use a BTS template weapon against them. But then a lot of the no-man hackers don't have mimetism, so you can just get them with the submachine gun. Yeah, so a submachine gun Banshee would be your way forward. That's going to get you out of a lot of trouble. Definitely. You can pop tart on the Moran as well, and they can't hack you. So what the heck you can do about it, basically. So chaps was just varnishing those last two Ariadne images before I add my grass stuffs. Bravo, bravo. Yep, coordinated order against the HMG. Simple numbers game. Good call, Larkbeard. Just saturate it with targets. You can only shoot one. Which one you're going to do? That's a good call too. Yeah, Multiverse. Thank you for the advice on the being more decisive in games. It sounds like I need to go through missions and make a list and game plan for each. Yeah, especially when you're starting out. When you are more experienced, when you are more comfortable and competent with the game, you will find that you do this fluidly and it doesn't really matter. You don't need to do it so much. But when you are newer in the game and you are sort of finding your feet with it, I would recommend reading your mission, getting a feel for that, and then having a plan of how you want to complete that mission and at what point. You know, being clear with yourself, because the thing is, missions can only be completed at certain points. Some of them are end of game, some of them are end of round. Understanding what needs to be done by when is the first place to starting to write your list, basically. You need to be able to sort of look at it and go, okay, well, I need to be able to get this done by this point in the game. So therefore, extrapolating backwards, if you're doing one of the missions where you need to control a quadrant at the end of a game round, planning for the long game and being like, well, I'm going to button up and I'm just going to hold my back quadrant and wait until the end. Yeah, no, you're going to lose because the enemy is going to take 3 quadrants on turn 1 and turn 2, and then you're going to be so far behind, the game's done. So being clear when you score is the first step, and then from that building yourself a plan, and from that plan building yourself a list, but the plan comes first. because when you have a vision of how you're going to win the game, what you need to take to achieve that starts becoming a lot easier, basically. Yeah, hope that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. But it's one of the great challenges of the game, and it's having that plan. It helps you avoid those horrible moments of indecision, and it gives you something to latch onto to pull yourself back. Because if you're like, what do I do? What do I do? And your brain's flipping out, you can go, hang on. Right, I had a plan. I stick to the frickin' plan. That's what I do. And the plan was this. So I go and do that. And it makes everything a lot cleaner and a lot easier straight away. So yeah, definitely would recommend that. But it is a skill and it doesn't come that easy. A lot of the member-only videos that we've got coming up for the ITS missions, we've done one already for a Cal interference. They contain kind of list advice and very specific list advice. And I think I'm putting in stuff about plans for the mission. Like, this is the way you can run this. This is the way you can approach it, basically. Because obviously you need to take the view of, if I go first, if I go second. If I am offensive, if I'm defensive. If I am acting or if I'm responding, you know? There's a lot of variables, but the more you can start planning for, the better. And a question I've been a bit apprehensive to ask. When is a good time to start going to Infinity events as a competitive beginner? Will it annoy the heck out of veteran players, etc., etc.? Right. The time to start going to... There are 2 moments where you should go to competitive... 3 moments where you should go to competitive events, in my opinion, with Infinity. Number 1, if there is a newbie event. If there is one designed for newbies, you should go to that. Ta-da! You're welcome. 2, if you can complete a full 300-point game in 2 hours or less, you should go to a tournament at that point. If you're worried about being a good opponent, then you should do it at that point. You should make sure that your speed is up, your decision making, your thought processes, your processes for the game, your ability to go, okay, I need to do a BS attack. A BS attack is boom. That's what the dice roll I need. You clear on that one? Good. Roll dice, progress. The other answer is when you want to. There are competitive events and there are competitive metas that take things incredibly seriously. Okay? They will take things incredibly seriously. And that's fine, because you get from your hobby and you do with your hobby what you want with it. And if you want to be incredibly serious and incredibly, like, hardcore about it, fair play and more power to your elbow. I fully support your choice to be that way, because you should get from your hobby what you want. But ask the TO beforehand and say, look, I'm a newbie. Maybe I can't complete a round in the time allocated. They should tell you what the time allocated for each round is. And you should be able to get sort of a feel from there. Like, yeah, no, I can do, I'm not sure. Have that conversation with them and say, look, would you recommend? I've had newbies come to events that I've run, and at the end of the first round, I've said, do you know what? Probably best you drop, because this is a little bit hardcore. And I've spent the rest of the day kind of playing games with them as I've TO'd. So I've kind of like, yep, stay here, we're going to throw dice together, we're going to get your speed up and work on some of the basics, but just drop you from the tournament so that it's not, you know, it's not a negative experience for the other players. But communicate with the TO and they'll tell you, they'll be able to manage your expectation, they'll be able to tell you whether it's a good idea or it's a bad idea. Listen to them, respect their choices, respect what they're saying, but most of all, just remember it's a game. It's supposed to be fun, and if you want to do it, if that sounds like fun, do it. Have fun. Enjoy. It's, yeah, sometimes we can get a little bit too much about hobby. You know, yes, you put a lot of time into this, and you do. And you want to get your best experience from this hobby, and you should. That's absolutely true. But so should everyone else. So, yeah. But no, like, if you want to go, speak to your local TO, say, I want to come, let's play, I want to play, and see what they say. If they're a good TO, if they're an experienced TO, they'll be able to tell you what to manage. And the most important thing, I think, as a TO of over 10 years, is that you can complete your games in a timely fashion. If you can do that, most people are fine. Especially I'm incredibly lucky with my local meta. They are lovely human beings, every single one. And they are more likely to sit there and go, don't do that. Try this thing, even in the middle of the tournament, because they were newbies once too, and they know what it's like. And yeah, I sometimes think that how a community teaches its new players or treats its new players is a good barometer of the health and mental health of that community. And if you've just got a bunch of braying maniacs after the blood of anyone that comes close, including newbies, then that's probably not the nicest place to play. So, yeah. Yeah, that was a topic that I have thoughts on. So, yes, Mike, always, if you have questions, fire it at me. I'm always happy to chat. So I love the aesthetic of Tiger Soldiers and want to play more of them, especially because it feels like they would play like my old Warhammer Army GK, dropping in behind the enemy, shooting in the back, AVA3 in, yeah, tips. So, I alluded earlier to the fact that I'm a Corregidor player, and we're going to motive here, just bear with me on this one. It is possible in Corregidor to pretty much man out an entire full 10-man combat group with airborne deployed troopers. This is both funny and right. This is the way the world should be. Hurrah. Would you ever do it? No. Why not? Because we're limited to 15 miniatures. We're limited to 15 units. And that means when you have AD troopers, that they do not provide their order at the start of the game. So you are kneecapping yourself with your order pool at the beginning of the game. And when they do arrive, they arrive on their own order, but they don't actually add their order to the group until the next turn. So if you take 3 Tiger Soldiers, which is both funny and good, what you run the risk of doing is strangling yourself with your order pool. Corregidor really getting squeezed for more cash right now with another battle box. Seems perfect. As a Corregidor player, yep. Excuse me. Mike, this is excellent advice, thank you. Super uber competitive is definitely not my thing. Did not have any good experiences with Flame of War tournament many years ago. My aim is to promote the game over all else. I hear ya. That's yeah. The whole reason this channel exists, apart from my wife getting annoyed with me, is to help people get into the game, to the system that I love, and I love Infinity. I think it's a good way to spend your time, and I think that the mammals that make up this community is some of the finest you'll ever come across, and rarefied in that quality. So I can completely relate, dude. And if I can help you in any way, do let me know. Boop, 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 boop. First I'll try this game with the wife, and then hopefully I can make my own home tournament with some buddies. Nice. It's be careful. I will say this. What should I call you? True? Can I call you True? Is that okay? Is that good with you? You good with that? I thought you're going to be a Dave, because, yeah, that seems fair to me too. Anyway, True, be careful what you wish for, because my wife plays Infinity, and she kicks my ass in ways that no one else manages. And that's not me giving her the game. She's just vicious in a way that I didn't manage to sort of predict when I first met her. I've never had to have dice removed from places that she's put them before. I didn't even ask for it, and I needed therapy afterwards. So just be careful what you wish for. That's all I'd advise. If your wife likes it, stuff can get real quickly. So be careful. True, I'm already happy she wants to play along. That's nice. That's kind. Happy wife, happy life. Yeah. Happy wife, happy life. True. Happy wife celebrating over the crushed and destroyed bodies of the troopers that you fielded and so carefully painted before the game. Yeah, you got to have a really robust ego for that one. That's all I'm going to say in gear. You have a really robust ego to take that. If you dive back, the only N4 battle report that we have on the channel is my wife kicking my ass, which was great. And you can go back and look at our Manifa battle reports also, which is my wife kicking my ass. So, you know, there's that to be said for things. It's great. Love it. It's nice. When you can share it with your partner like that, it is nice. So, highly recommend it. And definitely relationship goals there. True. Definitely relationship goals. Slow as day, you're right. Didn't let my magnetized models message through. Might be on my end. Nope, didn't see anything about that. I definitely understand the kneecapping yourself on orders between hidden camo, the airborne deployment. How do you manage that and still be effective? It depends on the army that I'm playing. It depends on the mission. Again, it comes back to that. You know, I'm going to put this miniature down in a second and just have that conversation, because that conversation is a really interesting one. And it's so subjective and so personal, and I love it, because I get to pontificate for 30 seconds and go, but it depends, which is just, it's my whole shtick. It's like, I'm going to tell you what I think, and I'm going to make it sound like it's a really great idea, and then I'm going to tell you, but yeah, maybe not, because I think that's just fun. That's not quite where I want it to be. The green's not quite going right, chaps. I'm not quite pulling it the way that I want it to be. Women, I couldn't live without them. I'm so grateful that my wife not only understands, supports, and enjoys my hobby. It's absolute blessing, I have to say. And hell of a painter, hell of a gamer. I wish there were more. I wish there were more gamers who were women. I think it's a shame that they get. I'm not going to say stigmatized, but they get the ick by the way that some people in our communities behave. I think it's a real shame, because they have a different approach. It's my experience that a lot of women gamers play differently, and it adds a real unique perspective and unique take to the way that they play and the way they approach. And I've always learned so much when playing against people of different experiences, not just like women, but yeah, it adds to the sort of cacophony of experiences you have, and that's how you learn. It's great. I'm now having to put my Infinity RPG Mini down so I don't drop her. Don't drop the miniature. This is why I have half of a. Don't drop it. Definitely don't do that. One Mr. Franco, that is one half of ability. As discussed. I was painting this the other week, and then I dropped it afterwards, and it broke in half. So I was like, well, I can get the legs done really well, but then these guys are being interesting. Right, hang on. We're going back to Multiverse. Multiverse. You asked, how do I choose? So it comes back to that plan. Your plan should dictate your actions. So let's talk about Corregidor for a second. You can get Hellcats, you can get Tomcats, and you can get Carlotta Kowalski inside of your fire team. They're all, sorry, inside of your fire team, before you list, and they're all airborne deployed. Okay, so which do you take? How many do you take? Why do you? Depends on the mission. If I have missions to complete, then having an airborne deployed doctor and having an airborne deployed engineer, incredibly potent. If I need to potentially really slow the roll of my opponent, then having a very, very unpleasant airborne deployed trooper in the form of Carlotta Kowalski, who can airborne deploy parachutist into the enemy deployment zone, hilarious. We love this. The number of times that I've taken Carlotta and just sniped out an obvious lieutenant. It's kind of like, right, you need to move into quadrants, do that and lost a lieutenant. Best of luck with that one. So it depends what I'm planning to do. You should have a very clear vision of what you want your airborne deployment to do. Are they a counter-punch? Are they objective grabbers? Are they late-game surprise units? What are they there to do? Be clear on that one and then plan them accordingly. That is what I would say. True. Oh, fine. Good. And my rifle plays Battletech way better than I do, so I'm okay with the constant getting my ass kicked. Bravo! That's the way forward. Did my 8 Kangxi message not come through? Nope, didn't see it. Darina, can you do a how to play Infinity tutorials, please? Darina, you will find an entire playlist of like 17 videos that goes all the way from what is Infinity, how does it fit together. I think there's how you do the list writing. Hang on a sec, we're going to find out now. All the way through to the basics of the game. There are missions in there of like, this is the first mission that I recommend, because you shouldn't start out with a full kind of like game, because that's just an absolute way to yep, 17, look at that, 17, blimey. Is that a shareable link? That should be a shareable link. Let me see if that's worked. So that was my shopping list. Oof. There you go. Darina, that is the link to the entire, I don't know how long that is. It's ridiculously long, but some of them are split in half, so like there are standard versions and there are member only versions which are longer and have more detail on them. But it's kind of, I don't know, it takes you through everything you need to know. Starting a game, hints and tips, lieutenant's ammo, close combat, fire team, hacking and command tokens, list writing and mission basics, long skill, climb, jump and drop, camo mimetism, MSC and exceptions, your first game, core concepts and profile. It was, the Institute videos were just so much, and as soon as I finished them I was like, I want to do them again because I can do them better. Yeah, you are blessed, Hydra. My good lady calls them toys. Outrageous, I know. I'm convinced she does that to deliberately wind me up. Yeah, it's something I hear a lot, and it's kind of, my view on that is always, it's what makes me happy. And we all should be happy. We only have a limited time on this rock, and we should enjoy what we do. And if that's what you enjoy, so be it. Toys or no. It's your life, you spend it doing what makes you happy. And as long as she's good with that, everything is right in the world. I have known people whose other halves have been very anti their wargaming hobby, and I'm just like, what's wrong with you? And it's just like, if that's what they're, you know, don't get me wrong, if they're spending the kids' lunch money on it, then yeah, that's a problem. But if they're just enjoying it and going out with their mates and having fun, then what's the problem? Let them enjoy their life. What's the point? What we're here for. Gee, I am getting on a high horse tonight. I'm new to the game. A friend suggested your channel. I'm painting the mini stage for now. Bravo, Franco. You should also follow that link below to the playlist. That will help. Slim Typhoon with an epic name. Question for you. I hear metas have different playstyles and table setups. Did you ever travel outside your meta? Many, many times. So I'm from the UK. I live in the Netherlands. I have played in Spain. I've played all over the UK. I've played, like, yeah, all over the place. Yes, they do. Table density, table structure, approach, thought processes with the way to write lists, the way to approach missions, all this kind of stuff. You know, there are communities that you have your mission where you need to push a button in the middle of the table, and they take the Sergeant Zim approach of the enemy cannot push the button if you disable his hand, i.e. shoot him and he can't do anything. And there are others that are kind of, well, we do the mission first, and when the mission is complete, then we work on slaughtering the enemy. I mean, slaughtering the enemy is already, it's Infinity, okay? You're going to do violence. If you're a pacifist, this may not be the game for you. And we love it that way. Don't get me wrong. Makes me happy. Wildly inappropriately happy, but makes me happy. So, yeah, there are very, very different approaches. And I remember, so if you don't know, this is a bot for Shock Army back on Cemento. My first sort of blush with these guys was in N2, so I don't know, 14 years ago, 13 years ago, something stupid like that, a long time ago. And I built a list that was quite disgusting. It was quite vile, and I ran it repeatedly. And in the last 10 games that I ran it, before this big tournament, I went 10 games without a loss, and something like, I think it was four of those games I won while also tabling my opponents. This list had such a fine edge on it. It was just death. It was just like everything Shock Army back on Cemento should be. It was a brick in a sock that I hit them with until they stopped doing the thing that I didn't want them to do, and then I kept hitting them anyway just out of pure Shock Army excitement. And then I went to this tournament, and in the first round, a guy swept me aside like I wasn't even there. And I was like, don't you know this list is incredible? No, he didn't. No one had told him. He did not get the memo. And yeah, that was, you know, pretty terrible for all involved. So yeah, the metas are very, very different, and it's one of the joys of the system. Wait, I thought you said there is a list for non-lethal. There is a list for blissful. There is a list for non-lethal. But even then, you know, you're coating your enemy. You're disabling your opponent. You're not killing them. Imperial Service, I mean, I don't really want to call them pacifistic in their approach, but they're certainly not mass slaughtering. There's a lot of units these days that have this kind of like the power and the glue guns and stuff that just stick tough to the floor, which is fine. I guess it's just me. I like violence. I like doing the killing of people. In game. Jesus. Let's calm that one down for a minute. You know what I mean. We've got a dog now getting comfortable in bed. Painting Sandtrap. Almost done with Kestrel. Just a Griffin Trooper. Ah, the Griffin's a legendary miniature. Really, really nice. Then it's on the second half, plus Beyond Sandtrap. That's my hobby goal. Get them all painted. Good for you, Franco. That I applaud your focus on getting one thing done before starting something else. I can't even get a miniature done before starting something else. So, bravo, good for you. That would teach me, Senpai. I have no idea how to do that. I have the attention span of a stunned duckling. So, ooh, shiny. Thank you, Save Do Again playlist. Bravo, enjoy doing it. If you have any questions, do let me know. As I say, the members versions are on there too. If you do join up, you get access to the Discord, so then you can sort of tap into the hive mind and me for more stuff, less the cost of a cup of coffee per month, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. And that's where all the resources as well. Some of the missions have like specific lists written for them, so you can download those sort of lists and get other ones written if I haven't done the one that you need. So, do consider doing that and supporting the channel. Thanks very much. Love you. Bye. Yeah, etc. Anywho, doing it. It's the best video series, even great ones on how to expand from Sandtrap. You cannot go wrong. Thank you, Mike. That's incredibly kind. And that's what I do it for. It's stuff like that. When I hear from people that I've helped them get into the system and all that sort of stuff, that inspires me. You know, there's the practicality of needing to make money from this so I can do more of it, bluntly. But it's when, like, one of the people that learnt with me with M5 really early has done escalation leagues based on the structure of escalation leagues that I run. And he learnt to play the game through me, and now he's got like a little community. Well, he's got a reasonable community of sort of I think it's 8 or 10 players around him that all play Infinity. They've all learnt with Dice Gods. That's what it's all about. That's what I love. That makes me happy. That's like, I've done what I set out to do, you know? I've got people into the system, and I've spread the joy of this community out to a new bunch of people, and that makes me wildly happy. So I really like to hear that, Mike. Thank you so much. Hydra's voice can get you through a cardio workout confirmed. Shampoo, I'm just disappointed you've stopped. Get back on the machine. You need to do more, at least another 5k. Hop on, chap. You ain't done yet. Franco, I do want to watch the videos for help, but can't while I paint. I get distracted. Sorry, Franco. That's a problem. That's it. For God's sake, don't watch them, or don't listen to them when you drive then. That's a terrible idea. Don't do that. There are many non-lethal options. There really are. I'm working on the Eugene Dragon Lady Imperial Service Judge and her twin. Nice. Lovely miniatures. Really, really lovely miniatures, I have to say. I owned one of those and I didn't get round to painting it. I haven't got... Did I slow her? I don't think I own her anymore. I think I sold her. I have a very transient system when it comes to Infinity miniatures. They tend to sort of come in and I hold them for a bit and then they go out again. Which is why this is the third time, no, fourth time that we're doing Shock Army back on Cemento, because I bought it, I've owned it, I sold it, here we go again. It makes perfect sense. Oh, I nearly swore then. Hang on a sec. Would love to see your finished Dragon Lady. I need to paint mine too. Yeah, absolutely. Dorina would love to see that. And here is a specific list this bullet series for. Tell us about it. It is part of a series of lists that I need to test out. So if you haven't heard the story, before Corvus Belli decided that it was a good thing to re-release Shock Army back on Cemento, they redid the rules for them. And I decided at that point, when they were impossible to get, that I would, for the fourth time, get Shock Army. So I helped us, helped the community, loads of people helped, and I was like, this is going to take a year to get my Shock Army together. It took 6 weeks, so that was the thing, thanks to some generous people in here, including XS. It helped me out immensely, and I'm still incredibly grateful for it. The idea was to take Shock Army to the Interplanetario in 2026 in Spain. So this is probably heading that way. A lot of, actually, one of the main reasons that I'm painting this one now is because I wanted to try the paint scheme on a bigger miniature just to see how it hung together. Because I've started it on a smaller individual troop. There we go, on the light infantry. Right, yeah. So I've started on him. I was kind of, although it's a little bit Buzz Lightyear-y, I was happy with how it's coming out. Come on, thank you. I was happy with how it's coming out, and the contrast and stuff was looking good, so I was kind of happy with that. So I wanted to do it on a bigger platform, because I've got a lot of bikes, I've got a lot of remotes, I've got a lot of tags that I need to paint up in this scheme, and I've done the thing before where you paint a Silhouette 2 miniature, and you're like, well, that works really well, so that's nice, I'll do that. And you do 5 or 6 of them, and you're like, oh, you know what, I'm going to do something a little bit different now, I'm going to paint myself a tag. And then you start using that scheme on a tag, and you think, well, that looks just awful. That just doesn't work at all. So I'm painting this one to get a bigger miniature in the scheme and make sure it works. It does, we're happy. But now I'm going to finish this one off, stick it on its base, and then that's one done. But what does this guy do? He is going to go into a fire team with Bagmarie. Let me just get this in front. Because what you can actually do with Shock Army is the Bagmarie fire team. Where are we? If you take a Bulleteer, it's not a pure link, but you can go Duo, Harris, or Core. So I'd be tempted to run a Core of Bagmarie with a Machinist, which is the engineer, Shock Army back on Cemento, who has the Bagmarie keyword. And what we can actually do with that is we can run a Bagmarie Paramedic, a Bagmarie Hacker, because we like a bit of that. And then a machine. This is the cheap version. This isn't the full version, by any stretch of imagination. Take the Machinist, probably just the standard version, just to keep the points down. And then we stick that with the Bulleteer. So what you end up with, so it's a Spitfire Bulleteer, 1.5 SWC, 93 points. We've got a fire team, which is level 3. So we've got the special die for the shooting, we've got the +1 on the dodge, we've got the +3 on the disco. With the paramedic, with the combi rifle, light shotgun pistol, MSV 1 and mimetism -3, NCO, so they're nice and efficient to move up the board, and number 2 plus Warhorse. Then a hacker with combi rifle, light shotgun, MSV 1, blah, 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 blah. Then a machinist with mimetism -3, combi rifle decharges, and then the Bulleteer with mimetism -6 and the Spitfire. So what we've got is a little specialist bomb with an engineer, paramedic and a hacker in it that can just charge up the board, do their thing. with this absolute tank at the front of it of the form of the Bulleteer that can just go out there and frag people left, right and centre. But if we come across camo units, we have MSV1 on the Bagmarine, and we also have the ability to get that +3 for Discover because of the fire team. So it's really, really filthy. But, you see, you thought we were done. We're not. We're not. If you want to go really stupid, and I say really stupid, but it's not. It's actually quite rational in many, many ways. Then the cheapest way to do it, let me just get my cheapest way to do it. That's the way to do it, isn't it? Yes, 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 yes. So, for a total of 2 SWC, 123 points. I'm just ranting for a minute. Just bear with me for a minute because we're going to have a lot of fun here. This stuff makes me happy, and this is entirely in Gear's fault for asking. So, the Bagmarine Paramedic, Bagmarine Hacker, the Machinist, and the Bulleteer. So we've got that fire team again, okay? We then take Agnes. Now, Agnes Ferreira is a REM driver, and she gives +1 BS. So our Bulleteer is now BS 13, which is nice. We then put a Mulebot Evo Hacker in there, and we use that to put the hacking program that gives it marksmanship. Assisted fire, I want to call it. Yeah, assisted fire. So now what we have is a Bulleteer that's running around with a hacker to protect it, that's running around with a machinist to repair it, whose mimetism -6, has a Spitfire, is BS 13 natively, and ignores the -3 to hit. You can fuel the fire team with your lieutenant order because you've got NCO on the Bagmarine, so you can just get the Bagmarine as the fire team leader and move them up the board based on that. And then you switch across to the Bulleteer to go the bang, bang, bang at people. And of course, the Bulleteer also has a repeater on board, so if you have killer hackers, which you do, yeah, it's just a death machine. It's 123 points, 2 SWC, and you've got 6 orders there, so you still have loads of points left to do lots of other stuff. But you've also got, what, I think Agnes is also a specialist, isn't she? Yep, specialist operative. So you actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 specialists, 6 orders. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. Aren't you glad you're asking, Gear? Aren't you glad you asked? Still got some World War II style nose art decals for K47 and think this could be cool for ACOM remotes and tags as well. No, I agree with you, Lockbeard. They would look epic. Problems, well, I finished the last Helion for now. Nice, gonna hit the hay. Night, brother. I will see you later. Maybe we'll play on Saturday. I don't know. Upload in a minute because I think it looks cool. Please do. Looking forward to seeing that on the Discord channel. I have a Corregidor and a few more bits of Forces and Soundtrack, but I'm not allowed until I finish those 2 Forces to learn. I play Elder in 40k, so I like a challenge, but not to learn. Okay, fair play. Hobby videos are for at home. No worries. Cool. Drew, what game shop can one find you at? It's like a 1-hour drive for me to the Netherlands. I assume you lived in GB. No. I am a Brexit refugee. Hey, Neil. Good evening, buddy. I don't go to a gaming store. We actually have a gaming group, a club over here. But mostly, if you want to see me, you want to meet me, we have and you're an experienced enough player, in May, we have a 2-day Infinity Satellite here, just outside Breda, in the west of the Netherlands, close to Belgium. Which part of the world are you in? True, let me know. I can't focus on projects. I need to keep at least half a dozen going at any one time. Yeah, I hear you, Blissful Badger. It's a problem. Trina, I got home when I got Operation Sandtrap and Sandtrap. Good, cool. She's a really good HVT, so really, really nice. Nice stack of effect. It really is blissful. It's really... No, first Bulleteer, I just dropped it and then it broke. Don't. I've not yet met a person that can outsmart a bullet. No, absolutely true. Multi-tool links for specialists and hard punch capability are fun indeed. That's absolutely it. That is absolutely it. And it's a good little hit piece to base this around because it leaves me lots of space to put other fun stuff into the list, which Shock Army can do shockingly well. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to run a Drago and get a heavy tag in there to do long-range fire support with that kind of like number of orders and points cost, it's entirely achievable. You miss my face on Mondays. Oh, Neil. I know, but you get only hens. And I get miniatures painted, which is important because I need to paint miniatures. It's one of those things where I'm liking doing the painting thing. It's nice. As I don't have to do my face, don't have to do my makeup and stuff. I can just be scruffy as all hell. You can't see what I'm saying. We've talked about it before. Anyway, we're not going down that particular rabbit hole again. But yeah, when I have something to talk about that's really meaty, I was thinking about it actually with Adepticon last weekend and the announcements for Star Wars Legion and some other stuff that's come up. But I want to get some miniatures painted. So just had my first demo Infinity game, my first war game at all after 2 years of painting here in. Hey, outstanding! Good job, little stinker. Bravo, buddy. Congratulations. How was it? Was it fun? Did you enjoy it? That's the important question. Belgium, closest to Antwerp. At the moment, I'm still in Infinity. Did you message me on Facebook? Is that you? I think that's you. It's about 150 minis with magnetized bases today. Dear Lord. Going back to books, check out the Alien Stratagem book 1 and 2. Are they yours? If they're yours, I'm definitely checking them out. Definitely checking them out. I like reading some other people's work, but like B5 definitely. B5 makes me wildly happy. Is missed, and I missed out on the space battle game. I had a non-cruiser at one point from that, but I never got to play it. Mongoose Games, I think. Very, very cool stuff. Yeah, little stinker games do come down to who you play with and their approach, and that's absolutely true. And it's good to hear you had a positive experience, because it's really easy to have a negative experience with Infinity, because there's depth there, and it's easy to get somebody who's just kind of like, I did the thing. What thing? The thing, the stuff, and boom. Right? Well, I'm glad you had fun. I don't even know what happened, and I've seen that way too many times. It's just not, I don't know. I don't get it. It's not for me. So I'm glad you had a positive experience, but that's great news, and I'm glad to hear it. That hopefully it's the start of many games for you. Oh, yeah. B5 was just legendary. I hope they get to restart it. I own the animated movie they released recently, but I haven't quite got around to watching it yet, because it feels like a spiritual experience, so I don't just want to kind of whack it on a Friday night and be like, yep, there we go, movie's watched. Just, that doesn't feel right. Needs to be a moment. Let's dive back into that world. Oh, nice. That's Centauri War. Very cool. No, it wasn't me on Facebook. I've just been watching a lot of your videos in the last 3... My God. Okay, there's a lot of people coming online around Antwerp. It seems. I had somebody message me on Friday. They're like, yeah, I'm around Antwerp. I want to play. Like, okay, cool. So, but I know there's a really good guy who goes by the tag of Prefect, who he's one of the finest Infinity players I know, actually. If you tell him I said that, I will never speak to you again. But he's a hell of a gamer, a fantastically lovely human being. If you want to get connected with the community down there, then message me on your platform of choice, and I'll hook you up with him. Because honestly, with him by your side, you will do well. That community is adorable. I really like the Kestrel miniatures. There'll be my Pano Force Kestrel Pack Gamma just arrived from the postman. I do want to learn to play, but I'm really enjoying the painting. Do what makes you happy, Franco. That's the important thing. Oh, Dorina, don't make me feel I need to watch it now. It's one of those things. Like, I need to watch it, but I need to, yeah. JMS is an absolute, absolute legend. And if you haven't treated yourself to watching Babylon 5, you absolutely should. The special effects are hot trash now, but then it was early 90s, so what are you going to do? But the storytelling and the world building and everything else associated with it, yeah, it will touch your soul for 120 episodes. Abso-frackin-lutely. Watch it first. Okay, I'll watch it first. Why? See, now I'm intrigued. Now I'm intrigued. You had my attention. Anyway. Hey, Shampoo, are you still in here? Because if you are, you need another game as well. That reminds me, you need another game. Thanks, but for the moment it will just be the kitchen table and see where we get from there. Of course, buddy, do it at your own speed. If that changes, if you want to get connected, let me know. I'm always happy to help, but I'm a great advocate of you should get from your hobby what you want from it. And there should be no stress and no pressure and no hassle. Because it's supposed to be your fun time. It's supposed to be the thing you do for yourself and the thing you do to enjoy. So it's important that's the case. Also, Neil, I started watching your Northern Wind video. Your Northern Wind unboxing, assuming you're still here. I love you guys, you're brilliant. just a lovely little unboxing video. But not that sounds condescending. A lovely unboxing video and just so happy. It's just nice. It's just, yeah. All the happy times. Yeah, I can imagine it. If you get your paws on that set, and it's kind of like, yes, special effects, but just story. Good. Glad you're still here. I enjoyed that video. I am enjoying it. I haven't quite finished it yet. Mrs. Hydra was like, can you come and do this with me? I was like, but I'm watching this video. She was like, no, I really need you to do it now. I was like, damn it. And unfortunately, cute as you guys are, Mrs. Hydra is, you know, the pinnacle of existence, so when she beckoneth, I runneth. Martin and Chris are like big children. They are. It's brilliant. If you haven't, so if you're thinking about getting into Eldfall, or you're looking for another wargaming channel to watch, Three Men in the Shed Wargaming, check them out. It's just, they have this infectious enthusiasm to everything they do. It's brilliant, and it reminds me why this stuff is fun. Because sometimes, like with wargaming, people get a bit serious, they get a bit grumpy, and they get a bit, you know, do you know what I mean? And it's just like, but it's not this and it's not that. These guys are just having fun and they're loving what they're doing, and I love that. It's just so nice, and I'm sorry, it's wholesome as frick to see people just enjoying their hobby and being happy with it. So they've only got like 300 odd subscribers, so you should go over there and do that. You should go over there and give them a subscribe. Neil, put a link to your channel in the chat. Don't make me go and find it and do it, because then I'll have to stop painting. And that'd be rude. That would not be nice. So go do that. I'm really enjoying how the armies are small. 20 minis. I'm doing good. The price point is nice. Yeah, no, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. It's one of the joys of Infinity, and it's life these days. There's so much to do, and there's so many things to take up your time and that eat up your time, and the time limited. You know, yeah. This movie's only at the cinema for this long, or you know, this is only available for now, and all this kind of stuff. And it's nice to have a system where you don't have to commit to getting 100+ miniatures done to have a proper game. You know, you can paint 10 or 15 is again, Eldfall's been mentioned a few times. If you haven't seen Eldfall, colloquially it's Fantasy Infinity, but that's really doing it a major disservice. But that only needs 3 miniatures. So even more so. I'm a parent, I've got 2 young kids, I've got a wife that I like, I've got a wargaming community, friends, all this kind of stuff. I've got a lot of things I want to do. Having systems where the volume of miniatures that you need is smaller is just more viable, it's more sensible for me to kind of do that and to get the armies painted, because my time is limited and you know, I prefer that. I prefer that kind of scale, so absolutely. There's another Infinity. You've got Fast Panda. I know Fast Panda. Fast Panda Wargaming. I went to a tournament with in the UK a year or so back, more than a year back actually, a little while back, and one of them was TOing Storm Shroud. And I kept harassing him and making him stay at my table, because every time that he was there, my dice bothered to show up, and every time he left, my dice were like, "No, we're not going to do anything." So I was like, "You will stay here, young man, while I roll this dice." Yay! Then I'd roll again and fail. I'd turn around, and he'd gone. I'm like, "Come back, bring my luck with you." So lovely people. They're actually going to be at our satellite tournament in May. They're coming along to play. Which reminds me, I need to message them. So, yeah, lovely people, really nice battle reports, very, very fun. Can't recommend them enough either. Many giggles to be had with them. Come on, do the thing. Ugh, damn it. There we go. Ugh. Not giving him mod rights, don't trust him with that, that's for sure. Gosh, yes. Hang on. I'm really precious about the idea of giving anyone kind of mod rights on anything. Wow, I've watched some real rubbish on here. But then I've also watched this stuff. This stuff is nice. Boop. There you go. Go give them love. They have only 387 subscribers, and they need at least 10 times that. At least 10 times that. So go give them love. They're definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Goodness, time is flying by tonight. I've had a lot of serious questions asked tonight as well. My goodness. Proper grown-up questions I've had to respond to. Might have even used my brain a couple of times. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, here we are. Alright. Oh God, I really need this cold to disappear. Can you? I can imagine the anarchy. That's the worrying thing, Neil. As it should be. Good job doing it. Good call. Folks, if you could, do consider becoming a member on the channel. Helps me immensely, lets me do more of this stuff, and lets me buy a new camera, because this thing needs some work. It's a good little webcam, but yeah, it's not doing the job I want it to, so I need to upgrade that. But more importantly, it gets me more time to do more videos, and then I can finally start doing the battle reports that I want to do. And that kind of stuff, because that's the next stage really. That's the next thing I kind of want to get out there in the world, is battle reports, because there's also some other stuff that I want to do in relation to, like, I'm doing a narrative campaign locally at the moment that's kind of a test bed for a system that I want to build out so that people can play narratively with Infinity more comfortably, because you can kind of do it at the moment, but it's a bit clunky. I kind of want to smooth that out, so I'm working on that system currently. So yeah, more to come. Need to touch the base with you on Discord and expanding my LF from Operation Coldfront. Do. Honey, lemon grated ginger. I know. Oh, poor me. I don't have time. It's terrible. But no, I know I need to do some stuff. It's more, I don't know what's actually up with me. I'm saying it's a cold, but it's not really. It's just one of those bugs that you have where you just don't have any energy and you're a bit stuffy and you're a bit coughy and it's all just a bit tragic, really. I'm not calling it man flu because that is actually a thing. But we're just feeling a bit rubbish. Okay. Question, like I'm saying, I'm getting going. Do you have a recommendation for submissions? I'm hoping submissions, or are they in the rules? So, Flashing Badger Discord, and they are on there. I'm on the Flashing Badger Discord. Oh. So, yes, they do. They do suck. You're quite right. So, what you want to do? 1 second. Missions. You will find on the resources tab of the Infinity website a little tab called Organise Play. And when you hit that Organise Play, you will find the current ITS PDF. Now, the ITS PDF is the Infinity Tournament system. Oof. And we get this every year. It's a free PDF that CB brings out, and it has all of the current missions for the current year. So you have all the competitive missions in there, but you can, of course, play them locally for funsies and stuff like that. For me, Acquisition is a good one to start out with because it's pretty basic. There used to be one called Supplies, which was even more simple and straightforward, which was better in my opinion. But there's some missions that are available to... Oh God, I hate doing this stuff, but on channel members you can get them as well. Bits and pieces of that you can gain access to. But if you look at the video series, there's some missions on there too. But really, keep it simple, stupid, because it's more important to learn the basics of the game than it is to learn the missions to start off with. Oh, that almost worked. But yeah, that PDF, every year we get a new series, a new season, sorry. We're on season 17 now. End of the year, around August time, we'll go to season 18, and then we'll get an update. And sometimes it's just like a couple of new missions, but then this year it was just a major rewrite. It was a complete overhaul of the platform, so you never know what you're going to get. It keeps life interesting and exciting. But then if you're like me, you have a sort of a background store of the old ones, because then you can use those too, which is also fun. So yeah. Ugh. I'm trying too hard with this NMM tonight. This non-metallic metal is just not flowing right. This is where my brain being mush comes into it. It's like, this is... Non-metallic metal normally for me is kind of doop, and it's done, and I'm just making this hard tonight. I hate that so much. So yeah, my goodness, it's 22:46 already. It's late. I tend to finish around 11 for those just joining us, because in the morning I gotta get up with the little ones, take one to school, one to daycare, then get my butt back here because I've got a load of stuff to do, including some exciting videos for you lovely mammals this week. I think this week is going to be... We've got a fun video tomorrow, actually. We should do, if I can get the edit done right, for Eldful. A little bit different, a little bit left field, but hopefully you guys will enjoy it. But important, actually. One of the key things that I love about the system, we're going to talk about that and how that works. And then on Friday, we are off to the world of bolt action. Do some bolt action goodies. And hopefully, if I can find the time, if it all sort of pans out okay, we're going to do some Infinity then as well. But we'll see. So this is how you can tell that I just do not care about the algorithm sometimes. And I should do, because then I'd get bigger and that would help and blah, 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 blah. But you shouldn't release videos like back to back like I did last Friday with Warcrow and Infinity. It's very bad for the algorithm. You should spread it out. I'm like, naff off. Doing it anyway, you can't stop me. So yeah, hopefully on Friday there'll be a nice little Infinity one. And then a nice chunky pasta smelling bolt action one. And yeah, we'll go from there. We shall see what happens. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. We're also hopefully about to start a conversation with another company that I want to work with, because having not enough time to do all the ones that, oh, that's the point. You know, we've got some stuff, we've got some terrain coming tomorrow for review, which is going to be really big for Warcrow and Eldfall Chronicles fans. But to be honest, it's going to have a lot of Eldfall Chronicles miniatures on it because they make me happy. But yeah, so that video, when that drops, really need all of you guys to jump on that one because, yeah. Might be different demographics this time sensitive review. It is, but I've noticed that if you sort of back-to-back release videos, which is what I'm going to do because that's where I'm happiest, then the one that you launch second does better. The most current video is pushed harder. The algorithm on this site is just, don't get me started. They're making it up, and it doesn't make any sense, and it's not useful. But anyway, don't get me started. There'll be tears. There'll be tears and bad language. Like, why do I feel like I've got a little bit of the shakes on tonight? And then I remember I made cookies with my youngest today. There was a lot of sugar in those. And just before I came on, my wife was like, "Oh, would you like some cookie?" Yes, I would like some cookie. That was an error. Anyway, it's tasty though. Kind of mistake I like to make it. Yeah. Where are we at? Ooh. These streams are growing nicely. It's good to see. I like it. It's nice that more of you guys are hanging out and watching and stuff. It's kind of funky. It's a bit weird. I still don't get the whole. There are people that message me if I don't sort of come on. They're like, "Where are you?" What? I'm ill, or something's happened, or whatever. You're like, it's not that. Is it that interesting to hang out with me? Apparently, it is. So it's kind of cool. Kind of crazy. Still kind of getting used to that. What? I love that. It's suddenly everything updated. Just stuck the Eldfall playlist on the homepage for the channel. Also, good job. It just updated everything. Like chat wasn't moving. And it just went choink. I think B-Pong is a little kid learner mission. It can be, but there's challenges with it. Flashing battle page on YouTube. Okay, cool. They rotate missions as they do. I might save the missions then. Do download them, keep them forever. I recommend it. Just enough time to finish this little Fusilier. Good stuff, Drew. Don't become a slave to the AI. Agreed. Metal Bit has just left the wooden paintbrush, and in a minute goes, oh, that's annoying. Just post what needs posting, we'll watch. Blissful Badger, thank you. It's very kind. It's the easiest way to get into Pan-Oceania without needing to buy 60 models and try out everything. What playstyle do you want to play, Peter? As the guys have just said, you can proxy, but it's actually easier. That's true, Neil. That's absolutely true. You can proxy as long as they're the same silhouette size, not just base size, but silhouette size. Yeah, my store doesn't allow proxies. I would love to jump in on the game with tokens bases, especially as I never played tabletop games before. Peter, first of all, welcome. That's a lot. That's a whole thing to be jumping in on. Jumping in on Infinity is jumping in on the jumping in on the grown-up end. It is. I love Infinity. As a first war game, it will ruin you for everything else. But there is a lot to learn. So you don't know what playstyles exist. You've never wargamed. Right, so let's talk about Pan-Oceanian playstyles. If you're going Pano, we have military orders, which these days is kind of this heavy armoured, ultra-religious beat stick. It lacks a degree of finesse. It does have some tricks, but it's kind of, yeah, it's pretty heavy-duty stuff. That doesn't mean to say that your units tend to be quite... You tend to have less of the really good stuff, depending on the way you play it. It depends. You're going to hear that a lot. Generic, just leave generic alone for a minute. This that I'm currently working on at the moment, this is Shock Army of Accontecimento. Shock Army of Accontecimento, don't get into because buying that is going to suck. It's currently out of production. It was recently went through a production run, but it's currently out of production. Getting onto it is going to suck. It's going to be expensive, so don't do that. But its playstyle is, it's a brick in a sock. You wail on people with said brick until they stop doing the thing that you don't want them to do, which is basically breathing. So I love it. It's Vietnam in space. It's joyous. It's a glorious thing, but precisely zero chill and zero subtlety. Neoto Capitoline Army is also out of production, so don't get involved in that, but that will be being released later on this year, I think. There's that, so you could maybe consider that because of that, but not right now. Svelheim is kind of your gunfighter sectorial. They're the winter-themed one. They've got the Dakar. They are very, very cool. I have to say, I do like them a lot. They've got some really interesting shooter units. The specialists can be a little bit iffy, to be honest, but they are pretty cool. And Kestrel is the all-new, shiny, brand new for this edition of the game version of Pan-Oceania. They've got a lot of very fun toys. They're kind of a sort of middle of the line unit. Middle of the line army. They don't have a lot of heavy. They don't really specialise in the light, which Shock Army can do. They are kind of middle of the line. They hit pretty hard. They shoot pretty well. So yeah, they're a lot of fun. They're the easiest to get into by far. And if you want something that's going to be forgiving, that is going to be very much up to date, then I would say Kestrel would be the way to go for. At the moment you have to get them in Sand Trap, but if you wait, there is going to be a release of them as an action pack that will happen. I don't think that's happened yet. Let me just check, hang on. I don't think that's happened yet. Because what happens is when you get a battle pack, which Operation Sand Trap is a battle pack where you have 2 opposing armies, 7 miniatures each, terrain, blah, 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 blah. When that goes out of circulation, which will happen soon, then those 2 armies go off into their own action pack, which is 10 miniatures, which is will be Sand Trap and Beyond the Sand Trap. You get 10 miniatures and that'll be your core. So that's coming up. If you want to keep your costs down, then I would keep your powder dry and wait for that to come out, which should be soon, TM. Lot being exactly, because we have got the brand new battle pack that's dropping in May, it should be very soon, but you never know. Maybe I just posted a Discord link. Good job in gear. I'm not repeating all of that. Thanks, Tyrion. Darina. Does Corvus Belli do limited runs now and again? They do, but it tends to be limited runs of out of production units. So we had it recently with Shock Army. We're about to get it with the Caledonia Highland Army. The other ones are coming up as well. I just got a new airbrush compressor. I hope to get away more painting done now. Yeah, I need to get a new compressor, I think. I've got a horrible feeling that's the case. I don't want one, but yeah. It'd be interesting to see a new operation box. This will be the first swap over for me. Yeah, it's one of those things. The swap overs can either be cataclysmic or anticlimactic. There's no middle ground, which just keeps life exciting from my perspective. It does keep life exciting. You tend to find that, like, Sandtrap was pretty cataclysmic because it's the first time we really saw what I call M5 units. Sort of produced brand new and shiny, the Hatamoto, the Griffin, all this kind of thing, and units that have all these toys and so much more. So I think that the fact that this Maze Breaker, as it's called, Operation Maze Breaker, is going to be Corregidor versus OSS, so Aleph versus Nomads. These are existing factions, so this is going to be, you know, we've already seen the Vigilante, which is a new unit for Corregidor. It's going to be new stuff. It's going to be resculpts of old stuff. It's going to be bringing those up to date and bringing them into line with M5. So I think it's going to be interesting. I don't think it's necessarily going to be groundbreaking like Sandtrap was, but I think it's going to be interesting. I'm intrigued. Hey, Lack of Foresight. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. I do, as always, have 5 Combi Fusiliers, an Orc. Cool. Did you get the Star Here box? The Essential Star Here box? If you did, that makes sense. Hello. That definitely makes sense. Oh. Hang on a second, I'm dying over here. My goodness me. It's been age, diseased. It's a problem. Ooh, don't do that. Yeah, 1 second, guys. Oh, I'm back and I'm alive. That's better. I can breathe now. That always helps. Like getting oxygen into your body. It's one of those things. I'm just used to it. I'm kind of addicted. It's a real problem. How are you, Lack of Foresight? Your Flames of War stuff on the channel has been stunning. You put the models in blisters, so I'm guessing they're not current era. If you have Facebook, find Dice Gods on Facebook and hit me up on there, Peter, and send me what you've got and we'll talk about it. I'll see how I can help, okay? I unboxed Sandtrap a year ago and forgot to do the heavy duty terrain, but I rectified it yesterday. Good stuff. The terrain is nice, I have to say. It's very nice indeed. Lack of Foresight is always a pleasure. What are we working on at the moment? We are working on an Infinity Bulleteer in 2 parts. Because I was painting it the other day and then I dropped it and it broke. It's very disappointing. But he is coming together now, I have to say. There we are, we're over here now. He's starting to look all right. Not terrible. As soon as these legs are done, which they are nearly done to a point where I'm comfortable to move them, he's going onto this. I think onto this. I think this is the one I'm going to stick him on. I think that'll work. Yeah. I've been pretty swamped lately with work. CAF is in full remaster and we're in a training centre. Yeah, I can imagine, dude. Signed an army-wide course, no extra staff. Oh, dude, that sucks. Plus I've got a leadership course. I'll be... Ugh, dude, you work too hard. But understandable with your location and your neighbour. I'm very excited for Maze Breaker because I like the look of Corregidor. Corgis are the way forward, definitely. Having said that, I hope my current minis hold up all right in terms of scale and being on the table. Yeah, they will do. They will do. Absolutely. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's because you're... Hang on a sec. Let me guess. You were Kestrel, weren't you? Is that right? Sorry, my brain is really smushed at this point. Yeah, you're Kestrel. Kestrel's new, you're fine. Kestrel's absolutely fine. It's if you go for older stuff like, have I got a newer one around that I can stick it next to? I don't to hand, that's really annoying. The older stuff like the older Shock Army, the scale is noticeably different, but your newer stuff you'll be fine with. And Kestrel is as shiny and new as it gets, so you'll be fine. Don't worry about that. Thank you, I appreciate that, dude. Just giving it that old sci-fi magic. Make it all shiny and stuff. Got to be done. Got to be done. Oh, where are we at on the channel member clocks? No, stop it. I like the look, but might be too hard to let. What, corregidor? No. You'll be fine. Corgis are fine. I have, in fact, there is an entire soon to be very outdated faction focus for corregidor on the channel. You can look that up and it will talk you through their strengths, their weaknesses and stuff like that. The only risk with corregidor is that you get too enthusiastic with airborne deployed troops and you screw yourself up. That's what that comes down to. If you can sort of contain your excitement and curb your enthusiasm a little bit for getting AD troops, you will be absolutely fine. And that's where having a plan comes into it. You have the plan and then you play that mission. With that plan, you will be absolutely frickin' tickety-boo and the world will be your oyster or shellfish of choice. Come on. Call those kind of done. Just done that off a little bit. I think I need to put a slightly brighter white on some of these, but they're coming there. They're getting together. Yeah, I know you had to. If anyone's going to, yeah, watching you. Avcaster will also have some current corregidor because they're cool. They are cool, very much so. I wonder how the Infinity animation is going. Last I heard, it's dead. I haven't had that officially confirmed, but there was a reply on a video from them and it's dead. So we shall see if that's officially confirmed or whether it's just in turnaround or what's going on, but yeah, we'll see. We shall see. Neil, thank you very much. You upgraded to be Did you just want your name higher on the page when I put it up? Is that what you wanted to do? Is that what you... Well, thank you very much. It's very kind, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate it. It helps immensely with everything we're doing here, so that's so kind. You're a legend. Mike, do you think Operation Mazebreaker will be more like a starter set or similar to Sandtrap, leaving essentials at the beginning? Yeah. Mike, I don't know. All bets are off. It's just, don't get me started. Well, I appreciate it. It's very kind. I remember that part, but I need to learn the basics first. I fear corridor might be too hard to do. Hey, yeah, go with what you're comfortable with. Franco, go with what you're comfortable with. Mike, what it should be is a two-player starter set, which is what we always had from the very first one that we had, Ice Storm, Operation Ice Storm in N2, N3, all the way through up to Sandtrap arriving. They were always two-player starter sets. Then Sandtrap arrived, and then Corvus Belli had a rush of something to the brain inappropriate, and they turned it into whatever it is now. Because I think, and I've said this to Corvus Belli as well, I don't think that Sandtrap was the right way to do anything really, because when you look at it, it's a box with 2 armies, terrain, tokens, dice, and a little campaign booklet, which is not suitable for newbies. Now the problem with that is, if you're aiming that at sort of existing players, well, we don't need dice, we don't need terrain, and we don't need tokens. So that's a waste of money. I don't want that. Just give me the miniatures. That's the thing that I need. So that didn't make sense. But if you're a newbie, what you need is an introduction to the game, and that didn't contain that either. So it was not for newbies, and it wasn't for experienced players. And they were like, no, it's for experienced players. Why? We don't want that. Yeah. I still need to know what happened to Acheron's Fall. It's still in process, last I heard, actually, in Gear. I was talking to somebody about it the other day, and it's still on the way. It's not been delivered yet as a Kickstarter, so I don't know if it's ever going to come outside of Kickstarter or whether that will be the only place you can get it, but you can guarantee that somebody will have bought it and they'll ship it sort of, or they'll sell it on as soon as it lands, just because they'll have lost interest by the time it actually touches down. but who frickin' knows? How's my early war stuff going? It's not. I've got like too much of this going on at the moment. What I need to do, I actually need to sit down and paint my early war French, which is a bit intimidating seeing you've done such a good job with yours, but I need to do that because then I can do the review that I need to do, get that into the world. But I've not had time. I've got to try and get this big old army together for Infinity for August, which is, it shouldn't be that hard, but it is because of workload, to be honest with you. So that's kind of taking precedence at the moment. I'm trying to take a little bit of weight off myself by getting the colour scheme locked in and then getting some core units done. So it's going to be a lot of, when this guy's done, it'll be a lot of light infantry and a lot of medium infantry to get those sorted. Then it will be on to, after that, actually there's a possibility that we're going to end up in Slovenia for a tournament for Eldfall Chronicles towards the end of the year. That's still in debate, still in discussion, a nice 2-day event possibly coming with that. So then I need to finish off my Soga because they're so good. And I also have a lot of miniatures to paint for the Northern Wind playthrough that we want to do on here. Because all going well, in the coming months, there will come a point where on a Sunday evening you will join me and we will go on a journey through the mountains outside of Soga in the world of Eldfall Chronicles. We'll go on an adventure together on a big board game. 4 adventurers, I think Gloomhaven, but in a much cooler world. So yeah, I've got to do that. Oh dear Lord. Oh God. Hang on. It's so close to what it should be, but not enough. Yes, agreed, Blissful Badger. I should probably grab Beyond Sandtrap at some point soon. You should do, otherwise you're going to have to get hold of the action pack, which is going to contain stuff you've already got, so dive on it like now. Why did I give clogs? What was I thinking, Neil? I still have some spaceships. Yeah, well, I was talking to somebody about Drop Fleet. Don't get me started on that. And my glorious face, I know. Thank you, like a foresight. I need to. If you were close by, I'd be inspired because we could play. You know? But you live over there. How often does Infinity move their universe lore? Is that what those boxes like Sandtrap or Starters tend to do? Sorry for all the questions. Franco, first of all, you ask all the questions you want. You keep them coming and we shall answer them because it's glorious and that's what we're here for. But how do they move them on? They move on with the big books and they move on with the 2-player starter sets and they move them on with the novels and they move them with everything. The world of Infinity moveth and she move quickly. Frequently, so you'll find that as the new campaign books are released and the new update books are released, I don't know if they're going to do that anymore. They used to do books, and they'd move things forward. Let me grab one. So, the end of N4, because as most of you know, we're in N5 now. What else was I over here for? I was over here for something else. I was going to get you. What was I going to get you? Come on, guys, help me out here. Oh, I know what it was. Damn it, it's not in the room. Oh, we're going out of the room now. Wait there. It's going to be exciting. I can't see the screen. Don't know if you can hear me. Hopefully you can. You should be able to. Where's the damn thing? Oh, it's there. It's there. It's there. It's there. Oh, that's so exciting. I've got to show you guys this because you're going to love it. Anywho. Right, we're back in the room. You hear me? You should be able to hear me. So, when we got books like... Alright, let's move this guy out of the way. Show and tell time, kids. Move the expensive brushes out of the way. Go here. So when we had N4, this was the last release for N4, and this contained new lore and moved the story forward. So you've got your unit pages and all this kind of stuff. You had alternate patterns in here, but then we also got lore. We got a lot of lore. So this was the last one for N4. Then we had the big N5 book, which is, I don't know why I didn't get that one. I should have got that one. I'm getting that one too. So the big N5 book dropped, which is not a rule book. So you might have seen this book around. This is pure lore. I think this is what we're going to get now for lore in the world and stuff like that. So again, there we go. You get information about the worlds, life in Pan-Oceania. If you can get the RPG, which is from, who's that from? Modiphius in the UK. You can download PDFs that contain a load of lore as well, and sort of background. So there's loads of places where it moves forward and stuff like that. So there's that. There is that. Did I just hear you say Beyond the Sandtrap is going away? Yes, Dalner, you did dive on it, because when the new Maze Breaker releases, then those will go end of life. Everything Sandtrap will go end of life, and what will happen there? Yeah, a lot bit I hear you, but they've just got anti-printing stuff, so I hope there's more books, but I don't know what form. Life in Pan-Oceania, baby's first sniper rifle, pretty much. But yeah, Dalner, when the new Battle Pack comes out May time, so just over a month, what will happen is Sandtrap will be split in two, and you'll get a Kestrel action pack, which will contain the Sandtrap and Beyond Sandtrap miniatures, and then a Shinden Butai one, which will contain the same. So yeah. Yeah, Northern Wind Painting Pile is definitely a thing. Well, there's a chance I could get on the Nijmegen in March this year if they're letting us go to it. Awesome! I would totally come with you on that one. There would be beer. Definitely. Do let me know, buddy. That would be awesome. Pop over to the UK and come play some Flames of War with... Do so. You should... Neil, Black of Foot. There's two YouTubers in my room. How freaking awesome is that? Oh, I applied for an Outcon to the UK. Well, I know affected. Yay! Likely. You never know. I've loaned my N5 book to someone and I can't for the life of me remember who. That's disappointing. I just got the N5 book. I like lore, but wish it had rules. Oh, you get me started. There'll be tears and stress. There should have been frickin' rules in there as well. Especially because originally they said there was. Anyway, books. But Franco, you are like my spirit animal. Holding books is the happy times. So I need to get my hands on some Infinity. Yes, you really do. Lack of foresight. You really do. Although it does ruin you for other systems. Be aware. Gestra was a bit of a side project of mine, and I did need Beyond for it. I just never got round to it. I spent the money on L4. You're all welcome. Right. Before I check out for the night, we haven't decided how we're doing this yet. But it says there's 4 people on Twitch. How many people are on YouTube? 13 people. So 17 of you here. Hello, everybody. This month, April, I think we're doing a giveaway. Isn't that exciting? It's exciting. So, I was just waiting on my Expanse second edition. Dorina, you have all of the cool stuff. Shush, I've got to concentrate for a minute. So we're doing a giveaway. Doing a giveaway of the big systems. So in reverse or sideways order, we're going to be giving this away. So if you haven't seen this before, this is a starter set for Bolt Action. Our friends at Lowland Miniatures gave it to us to give away. So if you haven't played, you don't get these people. They're not included, I checked. If you haven't played Bolt Action, you want to before, we're going to give this away, and this contains 2 little armies of 12 Germans, 12 US Rangers, and some terrain, and books, and dice, and all the rest of it. So we're going to give this away. This is going to be given away this month. We are also going to be giving away this young lady. So this is an L4 Chronicles Amazon Gladiatrix limited edition miniature. She is freaking beautiful. If you're not familiar with L4 Chronicles, it is a 32mm, I think, is the official size for it. Fantasy skirmish war game. You normally run sort of between 3 and 4 miniatures in your faction. And in case you think you're like, oh yeah, that looks pretty, but that's box art. This is what she actually looks like in person. As you can actually see, the details are actually like on there. These things are stunning. These miniatures are freaking gorgeous. They're all unicorn. They are absolutely beautiful. So I'm giving away this limited edition one. This is getting given away as well. So you can have this. And then we're giving away an Infinity miniature, but we're not just giving away an Infinity miniature. Why am I saying him? Corregidor, Caledonia. Larkbeard, Corregidor. Definitely, because they're cool. That makes perfect sense. So, for Infinity, we're going to give away something else. We're going to something a little bit special. Who doesn't love a giveaway? I know everyone loves a giveaway. It's something that's for your birthday month. Is it? No one told me that, Neil. Solid skirmish system. Eldfall is an incredibly solid skirmish system. Don't get me started. I used to ruin farmhouse as basic material. Good call. Damn, that's cool. It really is. She's gorgeous. Yay, goodies. Darina, I wanted to get into board action, not heard of the other one. No, totally understand. It's a civilian game. It's been around for 3 years. This is basically Fantasy Infinity, but so much better. This plays solo, this plays co-op, this plays narrative, this plays competitive. It's a very, very cool system. Go and check out. If you like painting miniatures, their miniatures are... Hang on. So I showed you a little one. Should we go the other end of the scale? Let's go medium size, because we're just going to have a little bit of an Eldfall love-in for a second. I'm sorry. Just go with me. So this is a rock golem. Isn't he pretty? He's stumpy. I love him. He's great. Then I can't. He's what? This guy is. He's an Oni. So a demon type creature. Come on, focus for me. The drama they put into these designs is just stunning. I love this faction. But if you're like, well, is that big enough? Is that real? Do I not want bigger? Okay, well, how about we go for a pariah? We're getting pretty big now. Yes, he has got a spear through his entire chest. And yes, he's still going. But is that really genuinely big enough? Ooh. No, it's not. No. This is a Blighted Rift spawn. And this is the second largest miniature in Eldfall Chronicles. This is the second largest. Yeah. And the detail on these, like, oh, I love them. They make me wildly happy. On top of being a war game, it is also a dungeon crawler board game and all kinds of other fun stuff. With lots more fun stuff to come. So anyway, that's Eldfall. You should totally check it out. Free rules online, free army builder online, blah, 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 blah. Right. Let's go. Yeah, goodies. Want to get involved in Unicorn Baby, yes, all the way. I'm alive, what a book, N5 lore, yes, indeed. So much hype, get out the rest board. I did! Okay, that only is on fire. Don't. That is one of two. There are two in that set. That's the blue. Oh, that's the red. This is the blue. Only because you asked. And these are the smaller ones. They are just so this little bundle of fluff and happiness, okay? This one here, this particular one here, well, not this particular profile here. I played against one of these a couple of months ago. And what that did is one of the other miniatures walked around the side of a building and then cast a spell on my archer and made my archer walk forward towards it, just beckoned it and just pulled him forward. So he walked out of cover and he was like, oh, that's really pretty, I'll go check that out. That little blue Yakusha teleported through a building to stand behind my archer, decapitated my archer in a single attack, and then teleported back through the wall so I couldn't respond to it. I was like, what the? So I bought one, because that was the only thing to do. To be honest with you, when something does that horrific stuff to you, that's how you respond. Yes, Stalinair, I know. Love it. Yes, I'm not getting a Colossus out. Although we're giving a Colossus away at a tournament at some point soon. Still only counts as one. Okay. So the last one we're going to give away, I maybe just need to get me those just to paint. True, they are so nice. The last thing we're going to give away is something you're not going to see very often. And my new and good friend Darina will kind of get why. This is the event exclusive miniature that was released to celebrate the impending release of Paradise Lost, which was to be the animated series from Infinity. These weren't widely released. I don't think they're available at all now. This was the company that was making the animated show. I don't know, like I say, last I heard it's not going on. We're going to give this guy away. He's stunning. He is absolutely stunning. Got a snoring dog over here. Wake up and stop snoring. The interesting thing about this guy, because I hadn't realised, I hadn't even opened this, which is one of the reasons we're giving it away, because he's been sat in a cupboard and somebody's going to love him. He's a single piece unicorn miniature. Are you going to focus for me? Come on, do the thing. He's not going to focus. I'm not going to take him out against. He's got a knife there and a knife here, but gorgeous unicorn miniature. So this month we are going to give away these three. As soon as I figure out how I'm going to do it, I haven't decided entirely that yet, but we're going to. So these three are going to get given away. So if you like any of those, then you should definitely hang around and find out how you can get your paws on them, because limited edition, this you can buy. You can just, you don't have to get involved in the thing, but if you want it for free, then you can, you know. That many would turn me away from other women. I don't need that on my, kind of, my conscience. Honestly. So I turn Cassad over so you can just witness the greatness. There you go. Did you see ones that Max shared on the Elder Socials that one of our local players painted? I didn't. I need to dive onto that one. I need to get onto that one. In gear, yeah. This is all the stuff. We're giving this away. This is all going. This is all going. So, needless to say, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the bells of the channel on YouTube so you can keep up with when this stuff comes out. If you haven't already, follow on Twitch, and maybe consider, because you're a nice human being and you want to, you know, support the channel and all the rest of it, become a subscriber over there, because that would be brilliant. That would help me out immensely. And if you do have an Amazon account, you can use, like, Prime account, you can do a free sub on Twitch, and you should totally do that for me, because that would be brilliant, and we can stick it to Jeff Bezos, because that makes me happy too. But also consider becoming a member of the channel, because I can do lots more stuff. I know. Well, the thing was, I was going to give this away, then I realised that I had this. I'd bought an extra one, because I didn't realise I had bought a 2-pack of Gladiatrix, and then I heard that this limited edition one was around, and I didn't realise that I already had her. So I was like, well, I don't need two, because they're 30 odd points, and it's a game where you don't play that many points, so it wasn't one of the options. And then while we were talking about it, I was like, you know, I should give something away for Infinity. And I was going to give away a limited edition Warcall, but then Larkbeard just dove on one. I was like, no, don't give it to anyone else. Give it to me. Give it to me. He's like that. He can be very demanding. Just very demanding. But anyway, I realised I had this guy who he's just reminded me, never widely released, only given out to people attending the seminar and a few to Warcalls and such. Some given out as prize support from CB. So this was, I got this as a Warcall for Corvus Belli. This technically isn't. He doesn't actually have a profile in the game, because Cassad is a character from the show. So he doesn't actually have a profile yet, but I would suggest Hack Islam would be something you could use him for. He would be a fantastic unit for Hack Islam. So, hail me indeed, Darina. It needs to happen more often. So yeah, I decided, you know what? Why give away bolt action when I can just give away everything? So we're going to give away everything. It's going to be very exciting. Personally, if you want to start bolt action, you should get on this one. If you want to do a painting project that's amazing, either of these two would be brilliant, in my opinion. If you're looking to start Eldfall Chronicles, she's an absolute beast of game. I mean, what you need to understand about Eldfall is they use a card system. It's a lovely card system. And she has, her stats are horrific. Offensive, which is what you attack on, you need to roll that or lower on a d20 to successfully hit somebody. 16 or less on a d20, you know? Pretty nasty. Pretty nasty. So, yeah. Anywho. And if you want to start Eld4, you should definitely do it with this. It's definitely the way forward. Something with hidden deployment would be appropriate for Cassandra. Yeah, they're absolutely. Absolutely. I'm indeed excited. Yay! So yeah, there'll be more of that. But like I say, if you can support the channel, please do, because then I can do more of this, and then more of this is more people playing, and that just makes me happy, wildly excited and cheerful. But for now, I think I'm going to head off because it's 11:30 at night, and I'm always I chat to you guys for a couple of hours or 2.5 hours tonight. Always come off the stream like really fired up and buzzing. I need to sit down and have a little bit of a chill, you know? No, I don't think so. He might have been. I don't know whether he I don't know, actually. He might have been. I don't read those because, hang on a sec. No, he was now in Outrage. I don't think so. I think Assad was in it. He might have been. Anyway, I always get, like, come off these chats really hyped and really inspired. It's so much fun to talk to you guys. So thank you all for spending so much time with me. It's been really great. And the lovely new people that are here tonight as well. There's like, Dorina, you're brilliant. You're staying. True, absolutely. We're keeping you. You're coming back. That's it. And Gear, always a pleasure, my friend. Lack of foresight. It's a rare time I get to hang out with you. And I'm really, really glad that we did. And I hope you make it across for the 9 Mega March. You'll absolutely do that. Mike, good to see you back here again. Neil, you gorgeous mammal. Blissful Badger. Franco, new person. You're good. I like you too. You can stay. I'm keeping you. Don't think you're getting away. I will send Neil around your house just to stalk you if you don't come back. I don't want to do it, but he'll do it. It's just how he is. So, yeah. And Larkbeard as well. And Dallinair, my wonderful Twitch buddies, thank you so much. Background noises as I move models out of plastic boxes to proper glass panes, cabinets I just built. I have so much unpainted stuff. Don't even go, well, if you've got so much unpainted stuff, do I really need to send you that, do I really need to send you that war core? Do I? Do I? I'm going to sort that out in the next couple of days, buddy. I'll let you know. Mal Winters as well, you little legend. And Kaz, if you can hear me, which you probably can't. But if you can, much love to you, my friend. Consider your clothes glued to the floor. Looks for traps. The traps, Dorina, are inside of your soul. Sorry. Anywho, thank you all so much for hanging out. It's been an absolute blast. And I'll be back streaming again on Monday. I'm not going to be doing, I don't think I'm going to be doing Thursdays for a while because I've got a project that's taking me away from home for a couple of days every week. So I'm not going to have as much time to do videos, and I have a lot of videos to do. So I'm probably not going to do that, but I'll definitely be back next Monday with a live stream and at least 2 videos, maybe 3, maybe even 4 this week. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, you take care of yourselves. Be awesome. Have a good week. Remember, it's only a game. All of it. It doesn't really matter. And I think you're great. So, you know, it's not all bad, is it? But yeah, thanks for spending your time, and I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.